Live. It's Wednesday, a little after 1 p.m. Eastern Time here in Montreal. And every Wednesday we do Wire Lady TV, which we get together on YouTube. I troubleshoot some new ideas, and it's a lot of fun. So, what I'm going to do today is continue with my Halloween stuff. I had a special request from Clarice to do some Halloween. She sent me a picture of something that she liked, so I did a couple of rough sketches. Always when people send me ideas of things that they want to be done, I don't ever like to copy other artists' ideas. Sometimes we get inspired by other artists, but I always put my own spin on things. And today I'm troubleshooting a few ideas from Clarice that she wanted me to do. Hi, Ginger. Hi, Amber. How are you? Hi, Becca. Clarice, you're there. So fantastic. Clarice, I did some sketches for those items, the photo that you sent me. So I have a couple of ideas of how I'm going to work on those. We're going to troubleshoot some ideas and do some more Halloween stuff, working our way to Halloween. Hi, Peggy. I'm actually doing something really fun. My friend Patrick runs well, it used to be called YouTube Montreal. Now it's called Rec Online, which is a association in Montreal. Oh, I'm missing some people. We've got, let me pull up the video here. We've got Robin, we've got Amanda, Jody, awesome. I'm going to just pull up the video so I can see your comments because they're going by super fast. Yeah, so I'm doing a 13-day Halloween challenge on, it's an app that you get to fight, like do scavenger hunts and stuff. So that's super fun. Adrian's here too. Robin, did I say hi? And yeah, so hi guys. I'm going to flip the screen and just get started right away working on some Halloween things. And yeah, so let's just do it. Just turn around the screen. And as always, you guys can chat in the comments. Let me know what you're doing, what you're working on. Lighting's not great today. It's a little dark. I can put on an overhead light. I don't know if it helps. I don't think it, does that help? Maybe slightly. Let me turn on the other light to see if it makes a difference. Is that, oh, that's too shadowy, I think. Yeah, let's not do the overhead light. Okay, forget the overhead light. Let's just go for it. We got a lot of people hopping on. Angela, hello. And so let's just get going. I have these sketches. There's a few things I want to do. One is with the more of the string art here. I actually had a big piece of this foam core and I cut it down to make a shelf for my daughter for her dolls. So I bought a big piece of the foam core at Michael's and it's like a 1/2 inch thick. So you can use this to do the string art. It's really good for that. It's super fun. And so what I did was I bought a big piece, like, I don't know, 24 by 36 or something like that. And then I cut it up to do, just to do some different things with. And this was, I'll just show you the picture of what I made. So I made a doll shelf for Mimi for her miniature dolls. So I cut up the foam core and just cut pieces and then just stuck little pins in the side to make a little shelf. So as you can see, I do a lot of like really crafty things. So that was something that I was working on. So, oh, we have more people hopping on. Sea Glass Collections, hello. And we have Almonds here, awesome. And Pandeska's here, hello, hello. And Nurse Chansey, Ellie, lots of people. Cool, so what I'm gonna do for this is just, I wanna do a little bit of painting first on it. So I'm gonna start with this and then we'll go for this after. And someone said, sorry, Amanda, I think I missed something that you wrote, Amanda. Oh no, I missed something. Okay, let me go back. That's the new husband is quarantined. Oh no, oh my goodness. Okay, stay safe and healthy, you guys. It's really, yeah, that's really tricky at this time to stay healthy and stay safe for sure. And just a big hug, Amanda. Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of people are working with the public and can't avoid, being in contact with people. So we just do our best to stay safe and healthy. So there we go. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm trying to make it simple. I just want to do like a little simple jack-o'-lantern, but what I thought I could do first is just draw it out first and paint it. So we're just going to do this. This is sort of like almost a mixed media project, but hopefully, I don't know if this eraser works well. Sometimes erasers don't work well on these cheap pencils. So we're just going to go in here, around here, and just go in like that. So not sure if this is going to work or not. It's kind of tiny, so we'll see what it does. And then my idea was just to paint it, and then we'll do some wire stuff after. So let's just get my paints and see. And I'm actually going to start an art channel soon. So we're going to, but I'll just start by doing this one. So yeah, so Amanda, I'm gonna after this is over, I'm gonna send you a DM, okay? Just try to stay calm, stay safe, and yeah, I will definitely when this is done, I'm gonna give you a little DM. So there we go. So let's just try to focus on art and just creativity for now, and we'll just see what we can do here. So I'm gonna just really seriously quickly do this because I don't want to like spend too much time on the actual painting part, because I will twist some wire on it after, but I thought it would be good to do a backdrop just so we see how it's going to go. So these are actually watercolors. You can just go ahead and use pencils if you don't have watercolors. The idea is just to do like a little bit of a backdrop, and this is actually giving me an idea that you could almost take a photo or a picture out of a magazine and do the same. Use that as a base to do kind of a pin art thing like that too. So we're just going to, you want to start with one color, and then we'll do the stem, and then we'll just go from there. Okay, so there we go. Another addiction for us. Is this the painting? Let's say, you guys so worried about the baby catching it. Oh, I'm sure your baby's going to be fine. No. Your baby, kids are very resilient, and you know, I think people get very panicky about the COVID thing, but a lot of people, you know, more people recover than anything. So it's all good. We're sending positive vibes your way, Amanda, for sure. So let's just keep painting this. And I don't know what color for the background, but you want to do something contrasty. I was thinking just a blue or something. So I'm just going to do it. This is honestly, guys, this is just like super fast, just to have some kind of background so that when I put the string art, it doesn't look too stark. And it would be cool. You could even get like a greeting card or something, and just kind of trace the shape. Even at Christmas, that might be cool well, I went over the edge. Might be cool to get like a Christmas greeting card or something, and then do some kind of string art on top. So this, I could play up the background afterwards, but I think for now this is going to be good. And then I need the black. So there we go. Okay, perfect. And let me just see. I can't paint or draw. So yeah, so you don't have to paint or draw. You could definitely just cut a picture, like print a picture, get some clip art, do something like that. There's always things that you can do, but the idea is, I'm having trouble here, guys. I can't even tell what's black. That's the trouble with these colors. You can't even really see what the colors are. And I'm just gonna go ahead. And seriously, this is just to give like a little bit of a backdrop. So this is going to be practice for me starting my new YouTube channel doing art. So I definitely want to do that. I think I'm going to do a lot of live streams on that channel, and a lot of it will be kind of connected to projects that we do on the Wire channel, because a lot of the projects I like to do are mixed media. So I'll do like the painting aspect on the other channel, and then the wire stuff on this channel. So we're just going to fill these in a little bit. Coloring book pages, that's an excellent idea. Fantastic. Go over the lines. Yeah, I'm going over the lines here too anyway, so it's not a big deal at all. And this is not like super even, and my colors aren't dry, so it might bleed a little bit. And that was the problem I used to have when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys used to do those paint by numbers, but I used to get paint by numbers when I was a kid, and in those days, they were made with oil paint. I'm sure paint by numbers are acrylic paint now, but when I was a kid, that was in the 70s, uh, it was oil paint. And for one thing, it stunk. And for another thing, it took forever to dry. And I'm someone who has like very little patience, which is why I don't do wire weaving because I have no patience for it. But the colors never had a chance to dry, so all my colors in my paint by numbers used to like bleed together. Okay, so there's the quick pumpkin, guys, and let me just put that at the side to dry, and then we're going to get back to that after. So there goes the pumpkin, and then in the meantime, I'm going to work on some of these. So I want to tackle both of them, and I was hoping I had some decent white wire, but all I have is this wire. And what I wanted to do, I actually was going to crochet in the middle. Looks great. Thank you, Alman. I was going to toothpicks instead of a brush. Good idea. Oh, for paint by numbers. That's a great idea, actually. So for the ghost, I was going to crochet it, but this is 24. The only white wire I have is 24 gauge wire, and I don't think it's going to crochet very well. So what I'm going to do first is just try to crochet, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to work at all. So, because often I like to do shapes and then crochet in the middle. So no, you know what? I'm not even going to try it. I think it's going to be too thick, but I'll do another one after that is, nephew is losing his mind right now. Oh, no. Oh, maybe if you had some paints to give him, that would be good. I used to have a black velvet paint by numbers. Oh my God, that's so 70s. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, black velvet paint by numbers. I remember those. That's so funny. It was a chaos ghost. Yes. So the one that Clarice sent me, the picture she sent me looked like sort of a chaos thing. So I think that's what we'll end up doing because the crochet isn't going to work. So let's just go ahead and do a ghost shape, and we'll go from there. So we can just start at the top. If we want to do like a little loop at the top, I'm just going to keep it really simple. I mean, if you want, you can get a ghost and you can like trace it. But I think for the sake of simplicity, and sometimes it's better if you just kind of like go for it. So we're just going to go ahead and do a kind of a ghostly shape. So let's just go ahead and do a ghost shape. And we're just going to go up here. And I'm not even going to use the tools for this. Let's remove this one for now. I won't even use the tools for now because it looks more artsy when you don't use tools. So we're just going to go around here and just do sort of a ghost shape. So let's just go ahead and do that. I actually haven't even cut the end of my wire, so I think I will go ahead and cut the wire because otherwise it's going to be all over the place. So let's just cut that. Perfect. Remember the velvet? Yes. Ghostbusters, yes. Oh, I remember when that movie came out. That was in the 80s, I think. So let's just go ahead and do a little loop at the top so we have something to hang it with. So if this would be an earring or what have you, then you would just have like a little loop at the top. And I already see this wire is super cheap. Like it's just cracked at the top. I guess it's a plastic coated wire, maybe like some kind of hardware wire. I think that's what it is. So it's already falling apart, but we're just going to go with it. We're just going to keep using it. He paints the wall with food when I'm doing dishes. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Wow. I did some art with my niece about a month ago with shaving cream, and she's 5. She's almost 6. Like she's a big girl. And I looked away for like a second, and she had shaving cream all over her. I think the isolation thing is getting to everybody, but she was going nuts. That was pretty wild. So I'm gonna actually, this is falling down. I'm just gonna twist it around the top a bit more so it stays in place. So now what you can do to fill it in is you can go ahead and do like the chaos type things. But I think what I'm gonna do first is try to place the eyes. So let me go ahead. I have these crow beads, they're called, which basically are extra large seed beads. So we're gonna do that and put this one in here. And you could also use seed beads too. I don't want to use round beads because the ghost eyes are a little bit more elongated. So I thought if we could use something like this, they might be a little bit big, but they're going to be like more ghostly. So we're just going to go around here, around like that. And you can even go through it again if you want. Make sure this is low enough. I'm going to just bring it down a little bit more. Okay, and bring it through. So to get it like a little more fixed in shape, sometimes what I do is I'll just take the wire and I'll feed it through again. Okay, and that just gives it a little bit more stability. So we're just going to put through and perfectly through there. Okay, Mom woke up sick yesterday. She probably caught it from my sister and I. Oh boy, yeah, it's that time of year, eh? There's all kinds of things going around. I haven't really seen anyone, so if anybody is around me is sick, I haven't really seen them. So it's just me, Mark, and Mimi here. So here's one eye that we've gone through there. And then let's just bring it through here. We're going to bring it around and do the other eye. Okay, it doesn't, once we kind of put these, once we kind of put the wires through here, then we could get creative with filling in the space with the wire. I think I've cut too much wire again, but we're gonna just see how it goes. So let's go in here. Perfect. And we're gonna go in here and just bring this through. Doesn't really matter, like if it's perfectly placed, we'll adjust it after. So now we're gonna surround this bead here and bring the end through again. Actually, what I should have done is put the nose bead on there, but I can always add that after. So we're going to bring this one through here. Okay, and this wire you could probably buy at the hardware store. I've had it forever. I'm not even sure where I got it, but it looks like it's from a hardware store or something. So we just have these in here. I mean, I'm just randomly doing this. I'm not quite sure if there's a method in my madness, and the eyes aren't even the same size. So maybe what I'll do is I'll try to surround it a little bit around here, and then you can start to twist it around the outside of the ghost. Okay, so we'll just bring it through here, start to twist it around, bring it around. And this wire is very soft. Maybe I should have done like a kind of a more solid outline before I started doing this, but it's okay. We're just going to go with it like this. Okay, we just got 8 inches of snow. Oh my goodness, no snow here, knock on wood. We're in Montreal, so, and it's still pretty warm. Friday is supposed to be 20 degrees Celsius, so that's pretty warm. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but that's pretty warm. So let's just go ahead and do this. It's getting a little bit distorted here, but that's okay. So the idea was to do like put those, and then I had another, I don't know where I put my other black bead. See if I, oh, here it is on the table. So I thought it'd be cool to do one also for the mouth type of thing. So let's put this one in here. Okay, perfect. Mustafa, hello, hello, how are you? What time is it there? I keep forgetting. I think it's like 10 hours later, so it must be like 11 at night or something. Yeah, there's quite the time difference for sure. So we're gonna get, that's why I don't like to do the live streams too late. I used to do them in the evening. I used to do the live streams at 9 at night, which actually I guess wouldn't be bad for you guys either. It would, well, it would be 7 in the morning or something, so that's pretty early. So yeah, so we've got the basic shapes of the ghost, and now we're just going to start playing around with doing the filling it in with wires. So let's just get this attached. So it's here, 10:57. Yeah, so it's almost oh, so you're like something and a half hour later. So maybe you're like 9.5 hours or something. I thought it was 10, but 9.5. So here's like the ghost. And then now you're just going to want to fill it in. So if you do want to do like the chaos style, you can just like kind of twist it around and around. You could also just crisscross it around if you wanted to. That would be no problem if you want to just kind of crisscross it. And I think you could just like go ahead and play around with this. Does anyone know where she gets her wire? So I get my wires all kinds of places. This one, like I said, this is like a very old one that I had. I probably bought this at a hardware store at some point. But I mean, I'm sure I've had this wire probably for 20, 30 years. And a lot of the wires I buy now, I buy on Etsy. You can order wire on Etsy. I have local shops, bead shops, jewelry supply shops. We're in Montreal. It's a big city, so we have access to a lot of, big shops and stuff. Also, Michael's. I buy a lot of my wire at Michael's. I buy the 16 gauge copper wire at Michael's. I buy a lot of the Beadalon wire. We actually don't have a lot of the para wire here in Montreal, but we can get Beadalon artistic wire very easily at Michael's. And I actually prefer the Beadalon wire because I find the para wire very soft. And I have a couple of rolls that they sent me. I won some contest and I won a few rolls of the para wire, and it was okay, but I do prefer the other one. I just find it a little more solid. And maybe it's because it's more what I'm used to working with. But definitely you can get supplies on Amazon, Etsy. I buy a lot of the wire on Etsy as well. I just find there's a lot of choice, a lot of suppliers and stuff. So that's great. Yes, Beadalon ones too. Yeah, I just find them, I find them a little more solid, a little more easy to work with. But sometimes it depends on the colors. Like sometimes some colors are, for some strange reason, are more solid and more stiff than other colors. And it also can be the lot of the wire. Like if it's like fabricated at a different temperature, or there's any kinds of other variables, sometimes you can't always judge by the gauge. And even sometimes within the brand, there's variations with the quality of the wire. So it's just a lot of like experimentation. Someone needs to tell Michael's to open stores in the UK. Yes, they definitely need to do that because it's a fantastic store. They have great prices, and yeah, it's definitely have a lot of variety. And I buy a lot of my art supplies there. I buy a lot of my stationery supplies. I do a lot of mixed media, so I buy paints, canvases. They've got frames. They've got everything. It's like, I think in the States they have Joann's. I've never been to one, so I don't know what it's like, but yeah, no, that would be great if they had them in the UK, because I get a lot of people asking me where to buy supplies in the UK. So I generally just suggest to go to Amazon UK, which and you can get stuff. I actually have a Amazon Prime, so often I have free shipping, which is really great. And often Amazon Prime, they'll offer like next day shipping and stuff. So it's definitely a good investment if you buy a lot of stuff on Amazon. Yeah, so there we go. So we're getting there with the ghost. This was Clarice's idea to do like this kind of chaos type ghost. I originally was going to try to crochet the inside of the ghost, but this wire is not thin enough to crochet. I would, if I had like a 28 gauge wire, I would crochet the ghost, but I do not. So we're just going to go ahead and keep adding this. And then if we run out of wire, we can definitely add more wire to it. So now I just want to make sure that the mouth stays in place, and then I can go ahead and wind some wire around the mouth a little bit too. And then we can also wind it around the eye again. We're just really going free form with it. So then we can just go around here and then bring it around this eye, around and around. You could probably do this with silver as well. I mean, the white is kind of nice. And then we're going to bring it through here. I'm just playing around with it. Gorgeous light pink 28 gauge. That sounds really nice. Yeah, the 28 gauge is great for weaving and for crochet. Like I use that. That's the kind I use all the time for the crocheted wire. I used to do a lot more jewelry with crocheted wire, but I haven't done it for a while, so I should definitely do more of that. But okay, so let's keep going around here. And then we're going to do more kind of twists around. So it's just, I have no rhyme or reason over how I'm doing this. I'm just going in and playing around with it. And the goal is just to fill it up with as much wire as you can. So we're just going to keep going around. And if I have to add another wire, I will. So we'll bring this around here. and around. And this wire, it's quite thin. I would say it's probably 24 gauge. It wasn't really marked. I didn't have a package for it. I think I just bought like a bunch at the hardware store, but it looks like 24 gauge. But if you want to fill it in faster, just use 20 gauge because it's gonna go a lot faster to use a thicker wire. The 24 is quite thin, so it's taking me a while to fill it up. But yeah, use the 20 gauge if you have it. I don't know if the artistic wire makes white, but you could definitely get some at a hardware store. They used to sell 3-packs like white, red, and green electrical wire at the hardware store, so they might still do that. So definitely for ghosts, that would be a good option. It's like a plastic white wire, so that would definitely work well. So he's coming along. This is so cute. So thank you to Clarice for this idea. I think it's really adorable. And often she'll send me pictures of things that she likes, and I'm like, well, let me see if I can put my own spin on it and see how it goes. So so this is super fun. I'm really enjoying this, and we're going to bring this around here, and it looks like I'm going to have to fill in, get another piece of wire just to fill it in a little bit. So we're just going to bring that there, and then I'll just add a little piece. So we're just going to cut that. Super cute. Now, I don't think I'm going to make earrings like this because to make another one the same, it's going to take a long time. So let's just go ahead and finish this one up and chew that with your sister. Yeah, it's really fun. So there we go. Didn't anyone freak out, but I got to the what? Don't anyone freak out, but I gotta go. The private ambulance is here, and see you all soon. Oh my goodness. So good luck, Jody. Is this Jody's probably on the job today? Yeah, definitely. Never a dull moment, eh, Jody, in your life with the type of work that you do, for sure. So around and around. And we're going to go through here, and we're almost done, and then we can go to the pumpkin. Maybe we'll go to the string art pumpkin, and then I'm going to do one that's just a pumpkin kind of pendant as well. So let's just go ahead and finish this one up. Really super quick. Looks good. And maybe one more. Well, that's good like that. I'm just going to finish it up like that. I really didn't need that much wire, so we're going to bring that around here. Perfect. Like that. And this one here, we can maybe do another little fancy one at the side just to fill it up. Okay, and maybe even up here. There's really, no rhyme or reason to this. I just want to use up my wire now, so we're going to bring this around here. And then that's maybe too much, but that's okay. We're just going to bring it in here, and then I'll just finish it up. And we'll go from there. So this could be it could be a cute earring if you wanted to make 2 of them. It could be a good pendant. So we're going to bring that around, if I could catch that. And then the thing with this, it's very soft. So what you're going to want to do now is just kind of adjust it, and you can play around with it. You can adjust the shape like that, and it's super cute. You could kind of use this idea and do anything you want with it, like fix up the shape and stuff, but that's really fun. So thank you, Clarice, to this idea. That was really cool. And so now I just make my own white by wrapping it with medical tape. That's a good idea. So it actually sticks. That's pretty cool. Oh, and this one I forgot. I was going to make a pattern, but I don't need to now. So let's go ahead to this. Go back to this and try to put our little pins. So this is just 1/2-inch foam core from Michaels, and we've got these like little 1/2-inch pins also from Michaels. And then let's just go ahead and see what we can do to do some kind of string art. So basically, I think I'll just go to the triangles and just put these in the corners of the triangle. Now, I didn't measure this. I didn't do this to scale. Clarice's little ghost. Actually, your ghost emojis look a little bit like that ghost. So yeah, thank you for the idea, Clarice. That's super cute. And we'll try to do the pumpkin after. And you also had sent me a cat, but I don't think we're going to have time for the cat. So we'll just do what we can with this. And I don't want to put too many pins in this because it's going to take a long time. So we're just going to go ahead and do a few of these. And then I might or might not finish this one, depending on how long it takes, but we'll at least get it started to have an idea of how it's going to look. So I do like the idea of painting it first. So that was really fun. Now, if you have trouble accessing to put the pins in, just get some pliers and stick it in like that. Like if you have large fingers and you can't reach in there, just kind of get your pliers, stick it in, and then that's going to be easier. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to reach all the little nooks and crannies. I'm doing this super small, but I know a lot of the string art stuff is a little bit bigger, but this is just for the sake of a sample. We're just going to do it this way. So I was thinking if we do the eyes and then we do something around the outside for the pumpkin, and then after I could do something for the stem as well. So we can definitely do that. And let's just see what the beautiful painting. Thank you. I love pumpkin painting. I love the pumpkin painting. Oh, thanks. That's awesome. Well, we never lose power, but I just lost Wi-Fi for 5 minutes. Oh, no, that's too bad. Yeah, I was a little worried about us today, too, because it is a gray day, but it's not actually raining, so that's good. It's been raining off and on for a couple of days, but it's not too bad right now. And we always like to take a walk late at night, so we were lucky last night it actually stopped raining, which was good. And then tomorrow is supposed to be nice. And Friday, like I said, is supposed to be super warm. So the ghost looks like the red tornado. Okay, so red tornado, anyone? I have no idea what that is. And maybe it's an American thing, but I'm not quite sure what that is. Enlighten me, Becca. Yeah, it's hailing and raining. Oh, no. Oh, that's a recipe for disaster for Wi-Fi. I hope it doesn't go out again. Yeah, where we live, it doesn't go out too often, but the next suburb over to us, they lose power all the time. So we're pretty lucky. It's not too bad. I better not speak too soon, though, because watch it just conk out for no particular reason. Oh, my goodness. In South India, it's raining heavy. Wow. So lots of rain happening today. Yeah, that definitely happens. I have a friend who's an artist. Her name is Bettina. She was living in, I think it was in Thailand at one point, and she's a painter. She does beautiful art. She's also an amateur astrologist, but she did a series of paintings where she would paint on her canvas, and I guess it must have been oil because it couldn't have been acrylic. It would have dried too quick. So she would paint the surface of her canvas, and then she would bring it outside during the monsoon, and these huge heavy raindrops would create this beautiful texture on her canvas. And so that became the texture of the canvas. And then sometimes she would just, paint directly on that surface, or sometimes she would actually take the canvas and cut it up and put it on other canvases. So it was very interesting, like using the nature to get the textures, which is really good. It's cold in California. Oh no, that's not good. Yeah, California is not supposed to be cold. I was just talking about California the other day because I have a friend, Stephanie. She started a new podcast. So her podcast is she tells like spooky stories, but not stories, but more like actual like weird happenings and haunted houses and stuff like that. So her last podcast was about haunted houses, and she was talking about a well-known haunted house in San Diego. And I forget the name of the house. I wrote it down, but there's some very iconic, famous haunted house in San Diego that apparently it's a tourist attraction and stuff. So she was talking about that haunted house. Yeah, I'll be prepared for Screaming Lily. Now, is that for lightning? Some people are afraid of lightning. I know Mimi doesn't like wind. She's better now than she used to be, but she used to hate wind. So but thunder and lightning can be very scary too, for sure. Yeah, so we're just coming along here, guys. Hopefully after all this poking, this is actually going to work. So we'll see. And in the meantime, you guys can just like chat away. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to fast forward through this very monotonous poking pins into the foam core because it's taking a long time and it might or might not work out. So fast forward to see if it actually worked out, and we're going to see. Maybe somebody can put time stops. The Whaley House. Yes, that's it, Rebecca. So have you been there or do you know about it? Because she actually went to visit it with her boyfriend. I guess they were there on business or something. And so on the podcast, she talks about this Whaley house and the history of the house and how it's haunted and the Whaley family that lived there for years. And apparently one of the descendants or the daughters, I guess, of the Whaleys lived there until 1953, I think she said. But it was in the 1800s that the house was built. And fascinating story. Yeah, really, really interesting. I've actually don't know if I've ever been to an official haunted house, but now I want to go visit some haunted houses because I found it super interesting. This is going to be really tight in here. We're going to see what's happening with this. So, no, I only heard about it. I don't like haunted houses, especially around Halloween. Well, see, I don't normally, and honestly, I don't watch horror movies. The last horror movie, well, not the last one, but the one that traumatized me for all horror movies was the Amityville Horror. It was a movie that came out in the 70s. I guess it was 70s, maybe late 70s. And I remember going to see it with my friends in grade 6 and being completely freaked out and traumatized by it. So I never watched another horror movie after that. Especially I used to babysit, so it was super scary if like ads for horror movies would come on late at night when I was babysitting. Mustafa loves horror movies. Poltergeist. I've heard about Poltergeist. I've heard of all these movies, but I never see them. Maybe I saw The Exorcist. That was another movie in the 70s. Although now probably that movie would seem extremely cheap for sure. But yeah, I generally avoid things like that, like the plague. So there we go. We're coming along, and yeah, that I remember the Amityville Horror. There was a scene where, the guy wakes up at like 3:15 in the morning or something, and to all this craziness in the house. And then I think for the week after that, I was waking up at like 3:15 in the morning, just sort of influenced by the movie. But that's very, that's just your mind playing tricks on you, and the power of the mind, right? For sure. Most Indian horror movies are not horror. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Are they musical, Mustafa? I can imagine a lot of horror movies in India might be like Bollywood type musical horror movies. That would actually be entertaining. I wouldn't mind that so much. Like if it's funny or done in a way that's entertaining, that's different. But if it's like done in a way that's scary and realistic, and gory, yeah, that's really bad. So a client even bought me a shirt for my birthday a few years that says "I love horror." Oh, gee. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Yeah, a lot of people just love horror movies. I don't really get it, but just it's just a thing. I guess if you take it like entertainment and don't take it seriously, it could be fine. But I tend to be pretty impressionable and can have some nightmares over things like that. So I definitely would not watch them on a regular basis for sure. Even sometimes if I get sucked into watching a YouTube video about some horror thing, it's just, I always regret it. Then of course, YouTube always suggests other horrible things that you can watch after that one horrible thing. So you want to be careful not to get into that rabbit hole. I used to be prepared for all scenarios, horror movies. Give me that. That's hilarious. If you Google the Amityville house, they'll blur the actual house out. That's interesting. Now, I wonder why that would be. Because, I think it was based on a true story. How much of it is actually true is, remains to be seen type of thing. I'm going to just do these with my fingers now because I find the pliers are good, but it's taking a long time. So let's just go around with the little pins now and put them all the way around like this. So I think if I ever do videos for these string art things, I'm going to be doing a lot of fast motion because this definitely takes a long time to do. And now I'm really super happy that I did this super small, because otherwise it's going to take forever. My little brother always has a nightmare after watching a horror movie. So maybe you shouldn't watch them, because they can be very, very scary and very impressionable. So yeah, not my thing at all. And even a lot of like video games and stuff are pretty scary as well. My friend posted something. He has a YouTube channel called What's Up Montreal. And so he did something one Halloween a few years ago where he got people to come into the studio and watch horror movies. And so what he would do is he actually filmed it and he put the video on YouTube. And while people are watching the movies, already they're freaking out, right? And then he has like this ghost-like creature come in and actually like scare them and say boo. So it's funny to see their reactions. Yeah, it's like those America's Funniest Video type things. Oh wow, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. And I'm not even gonna do anything with the background because I think it's just gonna take too long to do. But this can give you an idea of what you can do. And like I said, if you can't draw or if you can't paint, don't worry about it. We had a few good suggestions in there, like to get a coloring page. You could print out a stencil off Google. There's a really cool site called Teachers Pay Teachers, where teachers actually put up content for other teachers to download. You can buy downloads, you can get free downloads. So there's probably a lot of like Halloween type templates and stuff that would be really cool for that as well. There's clip art, all kinds of things. You can take a photo. Actually, I would love to try that. One time I did a workshop where we took photos and pictures from magazines and we did stitching, like embroidery type stitching on the photos. I would actually like to revisit that, and I think that would work well as string art. So you take a photo and put it on one of these like foam core backgrounds, and then you could do accents with the string art. I'll have to dig those up to show you guys because they were really, really cool. It's sort of something that was trendy a couple of years ago, kind of mixed media photos and stitching. And I think if you Google something like that, you could probably find something interesting. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. So wow, we're almost filled in. I kind of like the way it looks like this. I actually don't even want to put anything on it anymore, but I will, because I've gone this far. I've tried it this far. I may as well go ahead and put some wire on it as well, right? So we're just going to do a very simplified stem, bring that up, and then I'll add some more wire after. They say it's 100% true story. Interesting. Yeah. Well, certainly my friend Stephanie, she has said she has had her own experiences with haunted houses and stuff. She's going to do more podcasts about it. Apparently, her mom has a really like pretty intense story about some haunted experience when she was younger. So that's going to be upcoming on her podcast as well. So here's some different wires. I'm not sure if I have black. I don't have black in the 26 gauge. But I do have black in the 28 gauge. So let me just try something with the black, and then we're going to see how it goes. Some people hate them, but some people love them. Yeah. Current owners request. Oh, because the current owners requested. Oh, so the house is still there. That's interesting. Wow. So let's go ahead and try to wrap these eyes. This is going to be super tricky because look at how like stuck in there they are. There must be an easier way to do this. I'm not quite sure what, but now some of the pins are like falling down as well. So let me see if I can get in there. Oh boy, that one's getting stuck. So, oh, good thing I have fingernails. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get that. Okay, bring that up. We have to really get these pins to stay up. Now, so that's the disadvantage of the pins is they get pushed down, right? If you're using nails, it's going to be much easier. I have heard that in a very old time in India, there was a horror movie. The director would pay the person he could to watch the whole movie alone in the theater. Now, that would be freaky, watching it alone in a theater. So now the idea was we're just going to take these. I don't know if we have to actually twist them like around here. But I think what we just have to do is just really kind of bring these around. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm just playing around with this. So we're going to bring that up here. Bring it across. You just really want to fill them in. And I probably won't make them as filled in as I could. Oh, you could even pull them up with the wires somewhat. So we're just going to bring them around. It just gives it a little bit of kind of interest, you know. It just makes it, gives it some texture. It's fun. You know, it's something interesting. So if we're just going to go in here, around here, I don't know if we should also go around the outside of these. We can just see. I really don't want to put too much wire on there because it's going to end up like just taking way too long. But let me just see what happens if we just go around the outside too. If we just like outline it, might be good as well. Maybe what I should have done, you know what I should have done first is I should have done the orange first, but so that's another thing to learn. So let's just bring this and finish it off. Oh, okay, that one didn't go up. We have to bring it up to this one. Yeah, you could always like surround all the wires too. So let's just cut this one off for now. And this one too, we'll just maybe bring it around because it's always good to surround it on one of the wires before you cut it. Okay, so what I'm thinking now is maybe it would have been better to do the orange first and then do the black after. So let's try the orange and see how we go. So we're just going to cut this one and we're just going to do some crisscross. I think I'll go ahead and cut the wire. I don't actually have orange. What's this called? Oh, there's not even a name on it. I think it's just copper color. I don't know if they have an actual orange. They might, but this is as close to orange as I'm going to get. So I think the idea would be you would just take this, go across, around. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to finish this on the live stream, but we're just going to do what we can. So we're going to bring this up here and just keep, I don't know if it matters, like sort of where we go from where to where, but I think the idea is you just want to fill it in, right? So we're just going to bring that in. Let's just go ahead with this one and around here. And sometimes it's better to actually wind it around the pin as well, so it's going to stay. So we're just going to bring it down here. Oh, I'm off the camera now, so we're going to go down here and just keep playing with it, like bring it up and down. I don't know if we should do something more regular like this. We can try, like just bring it down here to each one. That might be an idea too, just to get a baseline. You might want to just like kind of randomly go around, like just to kind of fill it out. And sometimes it's better to do it that way, where you kind of go and you loosely fill in some areas and then you go back over those areas and then gradually you fill it in, rather than like trying to make decisions as you go. And is that one? Okay, I see what that one's doing. Just randomly fill it in, and then after that you can go over again and fill it in some more. So we're just going to do that. We're just going to randomly kind of fill it in. And then I think what I'll do is I'll probably just finish it later. But you see, like if we start going over it a little more, we're just go over a little more up here. And then I'm just going to finish that one off here. And I think what I'll do is I'll just do it quickly and then I will finish it up later. So let's just keep going with this. Maybe go to here and to here. And you see like why I should have done the black after, because it's going to get some orange in it. So I think if we finish the black after, it's going to be better. And then for now, we're just going to do this. And then you want to do the same like with the nose. You can go in here. Just bring this one up. We have to bring the nails up a bit. Bring that here, over here, and then we're going to go back here. And yeah, I'm just kind of playing around with it. So we're just going to see how it goes. Yeah, this is going to take me probably at least an hour to finish it, I would think. So in that case, it's not getting finished on the live stream, but it's okay. So we're just going to go like this But it's kind of interesting, eh? So I think I'll just do that. I'm gonna finish it off pretty soon. Push this over, bring this over, and I'm just gonna cut that end off, and then I'll start a new one after. And then as for the green, we'll get the green, and we can put that one on there. So I finished my dinner 10 minutes ago. Okay, yes. That's a late dinner, right? So that's usually when I have my snack at 11 o'clock at night. So there we go. So we're going to do this one. And I love chili. Ooh, yum. Chili's good. Whoa. You know what I've been making a lot is poutine. I think I told you guys what poutine was on a previous live stream. Basically, it's just French fries with gravy and those cheese curds. So we had that for dinner last night. It was really good. Okay, so let's cut a little piece of the green. And then the green one, you can just go ahead and like go kind of back and forth. I don't think it really matters. We're just going to go back and forth and around and then back and forth again. And then it would be fun with the green one after to do like a kind of a little spiral thing. So let's just at least try to finish the green one maybe. We're going to go here and bring that one up and down. And just keep going with it. Like try not to go over your same lines again, but just try to fill it in a way that you go over areas like a couple of times type of thing. So we're going to go here. And yeah, this one's very finicky when it's so small. I think doing them bigger is probably better. And then you can like just go around the outside of it as well to outline it. I think it would be a good idea. And I'm just going to go around here to outline this one. Okay, around here. And then if we bring it down to the bottom, like twist that one around and that one, we're going to bring this one back and then twist it around. And then if you just take these ones, I'm thinking I'm going to twist them together because they're very thin. So let's just go ahead and twist them because I find that the 26 gauge wire is very thin. It's a little hard to get an even twist here, but if we just twist it around just to thicken it up a little bit, and then maybe we can do a spiral or something. And then, like I said, I'll finish it up after and put a picture in the community section, and then it's going to be easier for you guys to see the finished product. But see, look, we can make our own twisted wire just around like this. And then I'm going to get something to wind it around. So we'll just do this. It's pretty good. It's not really even. That's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a piece of thicker wire. I have a big spool of thick wire here. So here's like a 1.2 millimeter. I saw someone put cream cheese and Takis inside a jalapeno. I haven't tried it yet because I don't like Takis. What's a Taki? I do not know what that is. I'm curious. You've sparked my curiosity. Okay, so now we're going to just wind this one around here to make a bit of a coil. Of course, it's super awkward because it's like stuck against the background. So if we go around here and around and around and around. Yeah, so we've got like a little kind of a spring thing going, and then we'll just clip it here. And you could use a thicker wire if you want, but so that's super cute. So we've got like this little spiral, this little thing. I hate vinegar. Wow. I can't eat spicy stuff. It hurts and burns my lips. Oh yeah, it's true. I hit my food and broke my foot. Oh, I thought you said you hit your food. So guys, here is so far. So I am going to put this guy at the side. I'll keep working on him, and I will put a picture in the community section. And then let's do one more thing. So the one more thing is a pumpkin. And what wire was I going to use for that? That was the question that I had, because I didn't get, let me grab some orange wire to do the pumpkin and just for an outline. So maybe a copper wire would be good. I just have to find one. Okay, that's 28. And 20 gauge, do I have copper? I don't think I have copper in 20, so maybe I have 18. I think I'll have to use 18 for the outside if I have it. Oh boy, I'm really low on copper wire. Yeah, here's some copper. It's not great, but it'll be okay. So let's just try something with the pumpkin with the copper wire as the outside, and then we're going to try to fill it in a bit like this one. So let's go ahead. I mean, I could try the crochet for this. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. So let's just start with this. I might do it. Let me just see. So, okay, so we'll go ahead and make a pumpkin shape somehow. And there we go. We're just going to make it pretty simple. There we go, around here. I don't want it like too big either, so we're just going to bring it in here. And then just like bring it up to the top and around here. I think I'm going to make it really wonky. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, we'll make it kind of like chubby. Bring that around here and bring that around here. I love vinegary stuff. That's a hard word to say. I used to love salt and vinegar chips when I was a kid, but I'm not a huge fan anymore. So let's go ahead and just twist this one in place. I'm going to just keep this simple and clip it off here, just like that. And then this one, whoops, we have to just make sure that's closed here. And then this one we can just go here, and then maybe just so it stays a little more solid, I'll just bring this back down here and bring that around. So there we go. So we're gonna do like something like that just to keep it simple. And I'm just gonna end that wire here. So that's your basic shape for the pumpkin. Perfect. Now, so there is this guy. He's a little bit warbly. Now, I had a few ideas. Let me just see if they're going to work. Because I was thinking it'd be fun to do some like little triangular eyes in there. So I have some 20 gauge wire. And let's do some triangles. So the idea for that was maybe we'll start with the inside of the triangle. Here, I'm going to move these guys at the side. We'll show those after. So let's go ahead and try some triangles and see how it goes. So we're going to take this and just go around, around. Whoops. There we go. Round, round. So we'll have to see how big we're going to make them. So this one maybe a little bigger. Now, I don't know if I want to attach, I think I might be better to attach them all together though, because I think it's going to be very finicky to have them separate. So let me see what I can do for that. We do this, and then we do like a nose inside. Okay. We go this way, and I'm just thinking out loud. Bring this down here. And then the nose, so it's got to be about the same size. So we're going to go this way. Make sure it's big enough up here. And just do this to the back. Perfect. Bring it in. It's a little soft, this wire, but that's okay. You can also get black aluminum wire, which is pretty easy to work with too. Sometimes the aluminum wire is easier for making shapes. I find the copper wire, it's very soft. Sometimes it just doesn't make very crisp bends, but that's okay. So we're just going to go around and then up. So now we have like sort of an eye and a nose. And then now we're going to bring this over to the side here and try to get it somewhat centered. So if we have that there, this goes to the side. And bring that up. Might be a little off-centered. Proportions are difficult, right? So we're going to bring that up here, maybe up here, and try to get it at the same height. maybe about here. We can just look at it and see. I mean, you can measure it too, but it's okay if it's a little off. So we're going to bring that. And now we're going to work our way back inside the triangle. So this is pretty good. It's, I like the idea. It's easier than doing the eyes and the nose separate because, oh, I almost broke my wire. In fact, I think it almost snapped. Oof, we have to be careful there. But yeah, it's easier than doing them separate because if you do them separate, it's going to be hard to attach them. So if we just work our way in, I like the idea of the kind of spiral type wires. I just hope they're going to be about the same size. Let me just see. So we have 1, 2, 3 in there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so I'm already to the middle, I think. So there we go. So we're going to go there. And then I'll just clip it off. Okay. So you need a close-up. Okay, so let me bring it up to show you guys. Okay. Let me just clip the end. So here is the piece. So I'll try to explain what I did and try to hold it. Started here. Let me move this stuff. Okay. So I started here, went around, around, and around, and then over here, went down, around, and around, around to the back, and then up, and around, and around, and around, and around. So if you want to take a screenshot or pause the video, you can see what it looks like there. And so it's all in one piece. So the idea would be you'd put this one here. This should be interesting to put together. And then let's do the mouth. So we'll get a big piece of the black again. We'll do the mouth. And then the idea is we'll try to make it look interesting. And we want to have like one sort of tooth thing going down. I guess we probably should have done the mouth with the same wire, but I didn't think that far in advance. So let's just go ahead and do like kind of a tooth like thing here. See if this is going to work like that. Okay, so we have that. And then we want to make like a pretty big mouth. So we're going to bring that one down here. And then this one. Okay, we're going to go from here. That's pretty good. And then we'll see if we could do a couple of teeth things here. So we're going to go here and here and here and around. I haven't figured out where I'm going to stop the wire yet. So we're just going to bring this here, up here. Here, I'll move this stuff so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm trying to do the shape of a mouth. And then just this one down. And that one up. So now what do we want to do? If we're going to bring this one in here, maybe I'll just, okay, I think I'm just going to wind this in here a little bit just to, so it's not going to come apart. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. So we're just going to bring that one in here. And then we want to kind of fill this in somehow so it just like is black inside. So I don't know if this, there's a, maybe with the pliers would be better. We're just going to bring this one in because you want to make it look somewhat like the eyes and the mouth. So if we can just fill in this area a little bit with the wire. Oh, we could even finish it at this side too so it's consistent. To give you a deeper look, do it first, the black second. Do it first. The black second, it will be on top. Not sure what you mean, but maybe you could try to explain what you mean. But do you mean to put these on top of the inside? I think that's what you mean. I'm not sure. Anyways, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to do the crochet inside the pumpkin because I was determined to do that. So we'll definitely do that. And I'm just gonna keep trying to fill in the black here to just make it, actually this is reminding me of when I made the black cat on one of the live streams. After the fact, I filled it in with kind of lines of black wire, very similar to this. So that's sort of the idea, is like trying to find a way to fill in shapes with wire without actually wire weaving, because probably a lot of you know I am not a wire weaver, and I have no real intentions to be one because I find it very, very time consuming. And more power to the people that like to wire weave, but it's not really my thing. So there we go. We're just gonna keep like filling this in the best we can. I'm gonna bring this around a little bit. Okay, and then we're just gonna do it, fill it in one more line to fill it in a bit. I think you are back, fast forward the live. Not quite sure. Okay, I think I keep missing your comments, but that's okay. If you guys can help each other out, that is fantastic. So we're just going to go around here. My lines are getting a little more wobbly because I'm not really using the pliers so much, but the idea is just to try to fill it in the best you can with wire, right? So if we go like that, that's pretty good. It's kind of funky. And then we're just going to bend this one up a bit, and then we'll be done. So there's different ways you can do this. You could probably add some beads too, but I kind of like it like this. So I think I'm just going to finish it. I'm going to clip the ends just to be consistent with the other one, and then we'll try to figure out how we're going to attach it after. So we're going to go here, and I will just clip that end. It's really getting dark out now too. So here is the idea. And now we might have to like kind of sculpt this a little bit and squish it in. So it's actually going to fit into the pumpkin head. You can like squish it in a little bit. It's kind of, ooh, I kind of like him. He's kind of neat. I have to be careful. My hands, my fingers kind of like stiff, freeze up sometimes. And actually that was something I mentioned in the paper rolling bead versus video this morning, that sometimes when I'm rolling like the beads with the paper, my fingers get a little kind of cramped up. So I'm trying to find solutions for the paper bead rolling in a way that's not taxing on your fingers. So that's sort of where I'm going with that, a bit of experimentation. So here is, it's kind of cute. Yeah, it's kind of cute. Maybe we can just bring this one in a little bit because some of the wires are actually overlapping, and I want these to be beside each other. So let me just see what we're doing to get this like more beside each other than overlapping. We'll bring that one up and bring that one up, and then that way they're, yeah, so that fills in the space a little bit more. I like it. It's like a contour drawing. It's pretty cool. And there's a little end showing, so maybe I'll flip it over like that. Perfect. So now what do we do with this disaster? So we get, uses up a lot of wire too. Okay, I can only weave very little pieces. Can't imagine doing a big piece. Ditto, yes. Very time consuming, like quilling. Yes, the quilling is very time consuming too, which is one reason why I never really pursued it, because I found it took a lot of time, but it's fun. Like I love troubleshooting one or two ideas, but I'm not sure I would do it a lot. I find aluminum too soft. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, aluminum is very soft. It's great for some things, definitely. So guys, I'm going to try to fill this in with crochet. I think the easiest thing to do, rather than like crochet, like attach it and crochet after, I'm going to crochet a shape first, and then I'm going to put it inside, which is generally what I do when I do crochet. I have a really cute design for a crocheted wire dress. That's you kind of do like you crochet a shape and then you sculpt it into a dress. So that's what I love doing. This is the 26 gauge. This is the one that Beadalon sent me for the string art. If it's too thick, I'm going to opt for the 28, but let's just try the 26 and see how it goes. And like I said, if it's too thick, I'll go for the 28 gauge for crochet. So do you see what I'm doing here? I don't know if you guys have ever crocheted before, but basically you just make a chain stitch. I know when we were kids, we used to do these chain stitches on our fingers just for fun. And so the idea is you just like take this, pull pull the wire through and go like that. I do have a few tutorials on my channel on how to crochet wire, so I'll link those up in the description as well. And I think it's just going to be a fun exploration to see if it actually works. So the idea is you want to do a piece that's about the length of the, or width, I guess, of the pumpkin. So once you've gone about the width of the pumpkin, maybe a little bit more. I love crochet. Awesome. So Alman, have you crocheted wire before? Because crocheting wire is fun. So now we're going to go back through the chain. So I'm going back through the first stitch of the chain, and then I'm going to bring this wire through. I don't know if this is called a double crochet or a single crochet, but this is, or if it's not even a proper stitch, but this is how I crochet. So we're going to bring it through there. Okay, so we're going to go there, and then we go into the next loop. So it's hard to see which loop we've actually gone through. So now we're going to go through the next loop. So we're going to go into the loop, pull the wire through, bring it up, and then wind it around your crochet needle, bring it through both of them. Okay, so that's my simple way to crochet. Through one loop, bring it through. So now you have 2 stitches on the needle, and loop it around again and bring it through. I don't know how to crochet wires. So crocheting wire is super fun. This is 26 gauge. I would recommend using 28 gauge for crocheting wire because 26 is just a little bit stiff, but it's super fun to crochet with 28 gauge wire. I've done a lot of different things. I've done it for jewelry. I've done it for mixed media cards, and it's super fun. There we go. So I did a crochet dress. Yes, I remember, Clarice. That's probably in one of the slideshows from a while ago. Yeah, that was really beautiful. Yeah, it's super fun to do. I just love any kinds of crafts and kind of overlapping crafts as well. So this is taking me a little longer than it would with 28 gauge wire, only because it's stiff and it's a little bit hard to manage. But I think it's going to give a nice solid base to the pumpkin. And, you know, maybe I should try it with the 28, but I've sort of already dug myself into this hole. So let's just keep going with the crochet of the 26 gauge wire and see how it goes. And yeah, and then after the live stream, I'm going to keep going with my pumpkin, the string art pumpkin, and see how that goes. And then I'll show you guys a picture in Discord. So that's where we like to share our stuff after the live streams. There won't be another Let's Get Wired this week, but I'll probably do another one in 2 weeks. So if you guys have ideas for what, see, I've done this one. I'm just going to see if it's long enough. If you find it's not long enough, you can always add a stitch as well. And if you find your stitches are too thick, and if it's too bunched together, you can loosen it up. So say I'm finding that too tight, I'm just going to bring it looser. So we're just going to pull it up more so it gets a little bit looser, because I find if it's too tight, it's not going to work very well either. So we're just going to bring that in there, and it's going to go faster if we do a looser crochet. So we're just going to bring it up here. Okay, so what about Christmas ornaments? Well, Christmas is coming soon enough. Don't get too excited. It's only October. Yes, Christmas is coming. We'll be doing the 10-day Christmas or holiday gift making challenge in November. So we'll definitely be doing some Christmas ornaments and stuff. And also, you know, that would be a good project for a Let's Get Wired closer to Christmas. So we can definitely do that one maybe sometime in November or early December. So that would be a great idea. Yeah, I have a couple that I've already done. I have one on my channel that's beaded snowflakes. That's super fun. That one's a cool one, but I'm trying to think of if I've done other Christmas ornaments. I don't know. I guess if you searched on my channel for Christmas ornaments or Christmas, I think I've done a few things. I think I did like some Christmas earrings. I have snowman and different things like that as well. So, and there's one coming up that I designed for Jody for the reindeer ornament. So that'll be coming up before the challenge. So keeps buffering. Aw, that's too bad. Oh, sorry about that, Peggy. Yeah, so I guess the weather is not on your side today, but yeah, if you want to watch the replay, that would be amazing. And you can also fast forward through this tedious crocheted wire thing, because I seem to have chosen projects today that are taking more time than anticipated, but that's okay. So I was trying to make this one a little looser, and let's see what we've got. So this one goes on here. I'm finding it a little bit, still a little bit tight, and it's a little bit, it's not as organic as I would like it to be. Like with the 28 gauge wire, honestly, it's much more loose and fluid. I always regret it when I try to crochet with 26 gauge wire, so I'm not quite sure why I did this. Maybe only because I had this bag of the beadle-on wire that that they had given me that I wanted to use, but it's okay. The other 28 gauge wire I have is also beadle-on. It's just one I've had for many years, so that's okay. I'm just gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna try to make this a little bit looser. Yeah, this is really super tight. Yeah, it's my hands are definitely gonna hurt after this. So I think I'm gonna just really try to like pull this out a little more so it becomes like super loose. So it's gonna be, whoa, it's gonna be much easier to do. So we're gonna go through here and around here, and let me know in the comments if you do crochet wire. You could also use yellow gold for the mouth and eyes. Yes, you could do that. That would be super cool. Yeah, that would be really interesting. As long as there would be like enough contrast that they would show up. I think there's a lot of definitely some cool possibilities you can go do with this. And this isn't really like orange wire. So if I could find some that was more orange, like even with a plastic coated wire, it could be cool as well. And I even have found a paint. You can paint on wire. So I have a ceramic paint that really paints well on wire. I'm gonna have to experiment with that one as well. But that is definitely like another possibility, is to do it in any color and then paint the wire. That could be really cool too. So yeah, look at this. This is like taking forever. So maybe after this, I'll do one more line and then it should be good. And you know, even if you skip some stitches, it's not a big deal. Like the idea is you want it to look organic. And I think my idea kind of backfired because this wire is not being very too conducive to being organic, but that's okay. We're just gonna go with it and then measure it out to see. I think I need another one on there. So if you randomly need another stitch, just go ahead and add a stitch. Yeah, I don't know if you guys do crochet, but you can be very creative and freeform with it. And then if you need another, like just add another chain. If you have to add another chain, it's not a big deal at all. So Kathy says, I've made bracelets and necklaces crocheting with wire. Yes, yeah, crocheted wire jewelry is really, really beautiful. It's a lovely effect. And if you like things that are more abstract and organic, it's really nice to do the crocheted wire. And I used to do more because I have some work in a local gallery. Unfortunately, you know, with how things are now, they're not doing as much business as they usually do. And for a while, I was making a lot of crocheted items, and then I've kind of morphed into doing other things for them as well. And even doing like crocheted mixed media, like cards and stuff like that is super fun. And it just has a nice kind of effect. You know, I like the texture that it gives, like the patterns and the texture. It's just it gives it a lot of like interest and detail, which is really cool. So yeah, we're almost there, guys. We're just gonna keep going across the top, and then I think even if it's not quite enough to fill it in, we can always work it out by adding, we can add some wires when we attach it. So that's good. So we just have a couple more stitches. Pull it loose so it's not the stitches aren't too tight. Do this one, and then we should be about good to go. So we're going to bring that one there, bring that one here. If we can pull it through, yeah. So that should be pretty good. And now I'm going to cut like a decent amount at the end. So we're going to cut a decent amount, and then I'm going to actually take this end and put this one through here. There we go. Mustafa says, how about Halloween cards for the next Let's Get Wired? That's a good idea. Do people give out Halloween cards? I don't know. It's a good idea. Yeah, it could be cool. Do some kind of more mixed media stuff. So here's our little piece. And then, of course, you want to try to stretch it out. And like I said, I think it's, because it's 26 gauge wire, it's not as kind of forgiving as the 28 gauge wire would be, but I think just for the sake of getting it done, we're just going to go ahead and attach it. So now what you want to do is take this crocheted piece and add it to your frame. So whatever size frame you do, whatever shape frame you do, it's fine. We're just going to loosely add it here, and then it's like sewing it in place. So just go at the can't even say that word, strategic spots, and sew it around the outside. So it's going to just like be nicely centered there, and I think it should be okay. We might have made it a little bit small, but it should be okay. So we're just going to stitch it around the outside, and then we'll figure out how to add our black pieces after. So we're going to go around here, anchor it around the stem there, just bring it around and just sew it in place. This is really fun because it's very open-ended. You can do any kind of shape and fill it in with crochet, which is really cool. Or you can just like take the crochet. I remember I did a crocheted figure once. Mimi has it on her desk, actually. It's like I made a crocheted woman and then just attached her to like a stone base. So that was really cool. I should take a picture of that and put it in the community section. So there we go. And here we go. I crocheted wire for the fur texture on the sloth. Oh, that's so cool. Yes. Yeah. Well, that's a great idea. Like to do any kind of animal or anything that needs some texture, just to do a bit of crocheted wire. It's fun. It's fun because you can do it first and then you can add it to your piece after if you like. So it's really cool that way. So I'm just going to keep going around. Maybe I'll just cut this little extra piece off. Here, we're just going to bring this one around here. I'll just attach this and cut this end off because I'll probably add a separate wire after for the what do you say, the eyes, nose, and mouth. So we're just gonna, I just want to finish this end. So to finish it, you just wind it through a couple of times and then clip it. So that's no problem. Wow, I think I judged pretty good about how much wire I'm gonna need. So that's not too bad. Okay, we're gonna go around here. Increase and decrease is a good thing to know. Yes, exactly, because that way you can at least do the basic shape of your form, and if you need to like parts to be wider or smaller, otherwise you can just do if it's a pretty basic shape, you can just do like a basic rectangle, or like for the dress I do more like a triangle shape, and then you actually mold it and sculpt it. And that's the thing, because it's very forgiving. It's almost like working with chicken wire, where you can mold it into the shape that you like. So it's definitely a lot of possibility with that. And the nice thing about the crochet, it's very abstract. So if you have like little imperfections, it's not going to show whatsoever. So now we want to mold it, push it over a little more to the side. I cannot believe I made this the right size. So there we go. We're going to go through here. Just keep taking the little edges here, just poke it into in the sides, bring it around, and then bring this one around here. Keep going with it, just keep stitching around here. I feel like I'm sewing. Actually, this morning I sewed a pair of little teeny 18-inch doll jeans for Mimi, because she needed more jeans for some of her photo shoots. So that was a fun project. I just downloaded a pattern off the internet and sewed that. So every now and then I like to do that. And I actually used some old jeans that were my mom's, because she needed new jeans, so I did that, and that was a fun project. I like sewing. My mom taught me how to sew when I was about 9, so I've been sewing for a lot of years. So this is done, guys. So now we can just go ahead and finish the end, and then I'm going to get another wire for the mouth. So pretty good. It's filled in now. Woo, that was a lot of work. Let me have a sip of water. Okay. Oh. So what are people saying here? It's like chicken wire. Oh, chicken wire is basically wire they use on the farm to make like fences and chicken enclosures and stuff. So basically it looks kind of like this. I think it goes like that, and then like that, and like that. And actually I'm going to do a kind of a Tip Tuesday tutorial at one point on how to make your own like chicken wire, but small chicken wire. Looks something like that. And then, yeah, something like that. I'm losing track, and then you can mold it into different shapes and stuff. So it's really fun. You can get it at the hardware store. Yeah, for sure. She doesn't do it now, but she does less sewing. Yeah, sewing is fun. So now, how are we going to attach these guys? That's going to be the hard part. So let's just go ahead and wing it. And then this is our prototype. So if it doesn't work, we'll know for the future. So now, get your 26 gauge wire again. I think I'll work with smaller pieces at a time. Mesh. Yeah, it's like mesh for sure. So let's hold this one, like make sure it's in the right position. Yeah, that goes to the back. So if we bring this here, this actually might have ended up being a little too high. So let's just make this one a little higher too. Yeah, we want to check first that it's actually going to fit. So let's just bring this here. Bring this one down. Okay, we'll bring these a little closer together. Bring that one up here. Wait, this is, oh, you know what? I'm looking at it the wrong way around. It goes this way. That was the nose. Okay, I knew something was wrong. So there we go. So we're going to just do it this way. And that'll go here. And then the mouth will go here. So I made my eyes and stuff a little big, I think, but that's okay. It's fine. And we're just going to bring this down a bit just to bring it, just so it's not so high. Okay, so the idea is now we want to attach it on here. Okay, so we're going to hold this. We almost need to like pin it in place like when you're sewing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hold it here. And maybe I'll start with the nose, because if we have the nose somewhat centered, then we could go from there, because if you start with one eye, it might get lopsided. So let's go ahead and stitch this in place. And my grandma passed in 2006, and my dad. Oh, wow, that must have been a really hard year. Yeah, well, they've passed on their creativity to you, Peggy, for sure. Yeah, and that's what I always say. Like, a friend of mine passed away in the month of May, my friend Allison, and every time I do art, I think about her, because we used to do a lot of art together. We taught art together at a local school where kids did art together, and so every time I do art, I feel like she's with me, and so, you know, her memory lives on forever when I'm doing art. She's actually been in some of my videos too. She was in my 100th Wire Lady TV live stream, so that was really special. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Allison lives on every time I do art, so that's wonderful. And she's on my screensaver on my iPod too, so that's a good thing. There we go. So we're just going to go around and around and around. And I don't think I want too much wire either, so maybe I'll just tack it there. And you know what I can do is up here, maybe I can try to camouflage some of these wires here so that the black in between the eye and the nose doesn't show. Now that would probably be a good idea, to try to camouflage that, because I don't want to go over these lines too much, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to cover up those here. And now I'm even thinking it might have been better to do these individually. Like, I'm starting to think that wouldn't have been a bad idea to do these separately. So guys, in the spirit of doing things the way I usually do, let's backtrack and try that because, you know, we have nothing to lose. So let's just go ahead and backtrack that because rather than trying to cover up that little line, why don't we just get rid of it? Okay, so I'm going to pull this back. Okay, I'm going to pull this one back here, and I can leave that one here. So now what I'm actually going to do is cut this. There we go. Because, you know, I'm not worried about like starting things over, and we're just going to also, it's kind of a funny place. Well, I don't know if I want to stop it there. I think I want to stop it at the bottom, which is ironic because I'm cutting off that piece that I thought that I broke the wire. So that's life's little ironies, right? So we're going to just put this back, and now we're going to have put our pieces on separate. I might regret it, but I also might not. So there we go. So we're going to do that. I'm going to pull this one back here a little bit. Okay, actually, you know what? Rather than fiddle around with this, I think I'm just going to bring it up here. Okay, we're going to bring that one up here and just attach it up here a little more. So if we're going to bring this one up, yeah, because I think I don't want it too low, right? So this is going to be down here. My eye is going to be up here. Wait, up here. Yeah, I'm going to bring this one up a little more. So I'm going to actually remove this. Okay, take this one out. And this one out. I'm actually going to remove this whole thing. Okay, let's start over. So we're going to take that off and I'm just going to cut them off because they're not going to really show. So we're going to just cut these ones off. Perfect. Okay, let's start again. So now we have one triangle and then this triangle and then this triangle. Okay, let's start this. Perfect. Heather, this is really cool. I haven't tried crocheting wire before. I do have the needles and we'll try it. Awesome. So if you're going to crochet wire, Charlotte, definitely try the 28 gauge wire because the 26 is very difficult and you can't really, you know, there's not a lot of flexibility with it. So definitely try the 8 gauge wire if you're going to crochet. Okay, so now I've cut those pieces separate. Let's see what we can do here. Why don't we start with the mouth because that's going to dictate where the eyes and the nose go. So what we want to do is just put it in here. Oh, my little end is floating at the back. That's okay. So we're just going to put this here, and then I want to, basically you're just going to tack it in place. So I'm not going to worry too much about like putting lots of wire around the outside because I really don't want a lot of wire. I just want to hold it in place. We're just going to go here and then bring this one up here. And I think we can just attach it with a few pieces of wire. Okay, so we're just going to bring this one down. We're going to just tack it in place. And it actually might even be better to attach it with black wire. That actually might be better, is to actually attach it with black wire, and then it's not going to show on the over the black wire that's already there. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to clip this there and this one, and I'm going to try to get some black wire, I think. Okay, so there's that one. So I attached that one with the copper, but let's get some black wire. Here's a little black wire, and let's attach it with the black wire instead. Okay, so the hail stopped and no thunder so far. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we haven't had hail here for a while. Got wire on the brain. Whoops, that came out. Okay, so that's not good. So let's just do the black wire. Okay, so I'm going to put this one here, place it how you want, and then I'm going to put the black wire. So let's go ahead and push it in a strategic spot in here. And bring that one down through there, pull it, and then the same thing. So now we can pull up this one up here, and we're just really want to push the wire through a few times so it's going to hold in place. So we're just going to, we're basically stitching it in. And the advantage of sewing with wire is it's much easier to finish the loose ends than if you're finishing off sewing ends. Like I know when you sew, when you hand sew, they always say, oh, we'll stitch over the same spot like 5 times and then you clip the wire. So that kind of holds itself in place. So it's kind of like the same idea. I'm just like basically tacking it in place. Okay. And then at the back, you can just, if you want, you can always like twist them. So you could take these ends and twist them around if you want. Or you can just simply cut them depending on how solid they are. This is the back, so it's not going to really show. If you are wearing it as a pendant though, bend the ends in so they're not scratchy. So there's the first part. And then let's get another piece of the black wire. Okay, just get another piece here and stick it through and go like to another area that needs to be, you know, you need to attach it in a couple of places. So we're just going to bring that here, bring that one down. Might have been easier to use like a thinner wire. So we're going to bring that here, bring that one down, and then get the flat wire to pull it through. So we're just going to keep doing this, go through a few places, because you want it to be solid. You don't want it wiggling around. So the more stitches you give it, the more solid it's going to get. And then the same thing, if it's easier, just like take these two ends and twist them around, and then it's going to get a little bit more solid. So then we're going to cut those. Try not to cut through your other wires. I've definitely done that before. And then we're going to do another one here. So get a little piece. Okay, so I'm just missing the crochet part. Looks interesting. Yeah, so the crochet is super fun and it just gives it a really nice texture. So now let's just go over here and do this end. I had a little copper end that was showing through, you know, that I should have probably more finished it on the back, but that's okay. I think I actually flipped this over at one point and the back has become the front, but that's all right. So we're going to go through here and then just stitch it through a few times. Bring this one up. If we can see the end, there we go. Bring it up here and we'll just keep stitching it in place. So down there, and then this one to the back, and then same thing. Let's just, for the sake of finishing it quickly, we'll just twist these ends together a little bit, and then we're going to clip them. And then you can always like take that little twisted end and bend it over, you know, so it's not sharp. So there's that one. And then now we can still adjust it a little bit if you have to. Press this one in. And then now we're going to we would put the nose and then the eyes. So let's go ahead. We should have maybe left an end on there for the nose. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm still not 100% convinced if we should have clipped them or not, but I think it's all right. So we're going to just go in here and attach this nose through here and basically just sew it in place. I think it's going to be easier if we just go all the way around the nose because it's quite small. So if we just go all the way around the nose, we can start at one side and we're just going to stitch it. So wherever you find, like probably next time I would use like a 28 gauge wire, and then my stitches would be I'd have more stitches and they would be closer together. But because I started with a 26 and I wanted to continue with it, I don't have as many stitches as I would have normally, but that's okay. We're just going to go around here and just keep stitching it around the outside to see how it goes. So we're going to just keep going around and around. It's a little bit finicky to get the end. You can go through like 2 layers of it. The 28 gauge black is so thin, you're not even going to really see your stitches so much, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And then we're just going to bring this around here and just keep going around the shape. And then we'll do the same thing with the eyes after to get them in place. Whoops, this one got bent, so we can straighten it out, bring that in there, push it down, and then this one here, up and down. And we're just going to sew it all the way around. Yeah, so that seems to be sticking pretty good. And then bring this, maybe do one more loop, and then we'll finish them off together. So we push that one down through there. Get it right through there. And oops, catch that end. Perfect. And then I'm just going to like twist these again together, cut the ends, and then I am going to, at that point, like if see this is crooked a little bit, you can always like push it, because the crochet is pretty flexible. So you can just take it and like twist it a bit like that. So we've got that, and then we have these guys. So now we want to add these guys around here, and then this one. So maybe I'll put those to the outside. Okay, so let's get some more black wire. Kind of decent sized piece, maybe 5 or 6 inches. Wow, so it's coming along. So Clarice, thank you for this great idea to do like the pumpkin that's filled in with the wire. And the one you sent me was, I think it was done more like in a, this is a sketch I did. It was done more in a crisscross style, but this works really well too with doing the crochet. It's really fun to do. It would have taken me a little less time if I had used the 28 gauge wire, but it's all right. It's pretty good. So, but if you don't crochet or you don't want to crochet, you can definitely fill it in. You could do the chaos style, or you can do more like the like a crisscross style. So let me just see how this is going to go. Just trying to find out the strategic spot to stick the wire through. And that's why if you do 28 gauge, it's going to be a little easier because your stitches are going to be probably smaller and you'll have more stitches. So that's okay. So now I'm just sewing in the eyeball, doing some sewing here, like embroidery or applique. I guess it's called applique. Applique was really popular in the 70s. I remember I had a craft book that I still have now, and it was all like 70s crafts and stuff. And one of them was to do like a little Holly Hobby pillow. Tell me in the comments if you remember Holly Hobby, because that was one of my first applique projects. Is you cut out the shapes of Holly Hobby and her dress and all that stuff, and then you stitch it on a fabric, and then I think I turned it into a pillow. I'm not exactly sure, but my mom had it for years. I think it finally disintegrated, but she kept it for many, many years. So we're just going to bring this around, keep going. And yeah, I should pull out that craft book sometime. I bet they had some wire art in there too. I still have that book. I should definitely have a look at it and see. So I just stitched those. Same thing. Let's just like finish these ends a little bit. Round and round. Holly Hobby. Amber remembers Holly Hobby. Well, you're kind of young to remember Holly Hobby, so maybe she never went out of style. I don't know. It's possible. But yeah, I just thought it was so cute, that little pillow. So I'll try to find a photo of it. Maybe my mom still has it. I just don't remember. Yeah, sometimes she just tries to fix these things. So Paula, how are you? Are you just hopping on now, Paula? We're running. Oh, wow, we're kind of running overtime. This has been a long live stream. I can't, whoever's been on the whole time, congratulations. Wow, I did not expect this one to go so long, but it is a little more intricate project. So if you've been on for 2 hours, kudos. Oh my goodness, I'm very amazed. So, but we're having a lot of fun. We're just trying to finish up this pumpkin, and then the other pumpkin that I started earlier, I'll do later because it's gonna take way too long here. I'm trying to get this wire through here. Okay, around here, and then just I want to make sure these are nicely centered. So trying to hold it in place, and then we're going to come around and add this wire here. Perfect. Okay, so I remember Holly Hobby. My mom made me a Holly Hobby comforter. Oh, cool. Liquid embroidery. So what is liquid embroidery? Because it sounds fascinating. and I'm not sure what it is, but maybe it's something that I know, but I don't know the terminology. That sounds really cool. Yeah, because I have done embroidery before, but I've never heard of liquid embroidery. That's really interesting. Okay, so we're just going to keep going around with this. Make sure it's somewhat straight. Bring this through. Yeah, I'm going to have my lunch after this. I didn't realize that we were going to go so long, so I'll have to dig out something for my lunch. I usually have salads, so that should be pretty easy to do. And if there's little holes like that, we can fix them up after, but for now, I'm just going to go ahead and tack these eyes in place, and we'll go from there. I'm fine, Heather, thank you. I'm well too. Yes, thank you, I am. I remember Holly Hobby. Never heard of Holly Hobby. So Mustafa, you could Google Holly Hobby, and if you check out like Google Holly Hobby crafts 70s, you'll see all kinds of cool stuff. I don't even know the origin of Holly Hobby. I just know she was popular in the 70s. So I don't know if it was from a book or just some kind of icon. Amber, do you remember who she is and what she's all about? Because I don't really remember at all anymore. Maybe it was a doll. I don't know. It's possible. Oh, Alman has to go. Bye, Alman. Thanks for hopping on. We're almost done anyways. So, but we'll see you in the Discord group. So here is, wow, that was a chore and a half. So we've got that. And then now we need the wire at the top. So I'm just going to see what I have for wire. Unfortunately, all I have is, I have this 20 gauge, or I have the 26, which is really thin. So maybe I'll just use the 20, even though it's kind of thick, just because that's the one I have. I have one that's like a plasticky green wire, but I don't like the look of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this 20 gauge wire. You're amazing. Aw, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. I'm definitely having fun, and I appreciate you guys staying on so long for sure. So now let's just try to wrap this up, and we'll do just to cover it up a little bit. So we're just going to cover this one up just to give it a little splash of color. So we're going to go around and just wind it around. We could also, I guess, like put sort of more lines like we did with the eyes and the mouth, but I think if we do it this way, it just gives it a little bit more contrast. It's something a little bit different. So we'll go around and around, and then I want to kind of finish it inside here. So what's going to be the best way? If I just clip it, maybe I'll just clip that, and then we're just going to bend this in just so it'll hold in place. And then we can kind of push it up a little bit. So just to cover the copper somewhat. Perfect. And then for this, we can do one of those twirly-whirly things. So where did I put my wire? I could use this one too, but I'll just grab a piece of the aluminum wire because it seems to be a good size to wrap it on. There we go. So we'll just take this, and this looks really cute with the little twirly-whirly because that's like it's from a pumpkin patch, right? They have those little twirly-whirly things from when they grow in the pumpkin patch. So we're going to just bring that around here, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And we can just cut that, and okay, we'll just cut that and put it in here, and then just kind of bring it around. So guys, what did we make? Whoa, I'm not sure about that. It looks like a little bit like a horn, but it's all right. So we're going to bring that there. So we have this guy. We have this guy that's not quite finished, but I will finish it. And then we have the ghost, but maybe we should put that on a darker surface so you can see the ghost a little bit. So there's ghost. Whoops, there's ghost. And there is the pumpkin with the crocheted wire, and there is the string art pumpkin. So I'll keep working on that one. I'll post a picture in Discord. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite one. I had a lot of fun with them. Clarice, thank you so much for sending me that picture of things you wanted me to make. That's awesome. I'm going to just turn my screen, and then Perfect. So that's it, guys. We're done for today. That was a long one. Thank you so much for staying on for so long. You love the crochet pumpkin. Awesome. Thank you. Liquid embroidery is paint in a tube that you embroider onto cloth. I've never heard of that. That's so interesting. Cool. Yeah, and if you're watching the replay, you can definitely fast forward. Or you could also watch the video on fast speed if you want. Amber told me about that. That's cool too. And yeah, thanks so much for hopping on. We'll see you guys in the Discord group, and I'll go on in a little later, and I'll finish up that pumpkin and share it in the group. Next, Let's Get Wired will be in a couple of weeks, so just a regular video this weekend. There's no live stream, and we'll see you again on the live stream next week on Wednesday. And have a great week, everybody. Thank you again so much for staying on for so long, for hanging out. It's like having a party. We had a great time. Holly Hobby did good deeds. So cool. So now there's a research project for me. I'm going to look up Holly Hobby, check her out. I'm going to try to find that picture of that pillow to show you guys, and the book. I'll definitely show you the book. And we'll see you guys the next time. Take care. Bye.